What is up, YouTube? It's your boy X-Man 1991 coming to you back again with another video. Since it's still Black History Month, I got two lists I'm going to reveal to y'all in honor of Black History Month. Last year, I revealed my top 10 Black cartoon characters and my top 10 Black deceased rappers. Now, for this year's Black History Month, I'm going to reveal my top 15 Black sitcoms of the 1990s and the 2000s. I'm going to start with the 90s first because the 1990s was definitely the golden age of Black sitcoms. We had a lot of great Black sitcoms in the 90s, such as Martin, Living Single, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Kenan and Kel, The Steve Harvey Show, The Jamie Foxx Show, The Wayans Bros, The Parenthood, Sister Sister, and the list goes on. The 90s was definitely the golden age of Black sitcoms. Most definitely. The 2000s definitely had Black sitcoms too, but the 2000s for Black sitcoms wasn't as big as it was in the 90s. So without further ado, let's go ahead and reveal my top 15 Black sitcoms of the 90s. Let's do that. Number 15, My Brother and Me. Before Kenan and Kel, before Cousin Skeeter, before Taina, The Nick Cannon Show, Romeo, Just Jordan, and True Jackson VP, there was My Brother and Me, the first Nickelodeon show to feature a Black cast. My Brother and Me only ran for one season and 13 episodes from October 15, 1994 to January 15, 1995. The show ended the day before UPN first launched, and it premiered part of the Saturday Night Block Snick on October 15th of 1994. I can't put it any higher than 15 because it only ran for 13 episodes. Speaking of UPN, I feel like the UPN or the WB should have picked it up after Nickelodeon canceled it. I mean, if it wasn't for My Brother and Me, half of the other Black shows on Nickelodeon that I just mentioned would even exist. But Nickelodeon was damn sure wrong for doing this show dirty. That's just sad that My Brother and Me ended way too early. But because it only ran for 13 episodes, I can't put it any higher than 15. But I know Beanie G94 is happy that I put My Brother and Me on this list. Number 14, Cousin Skeeter. One of the most underrated Black sitcoms of the 90s. Cousin Skeeter ran for 3 seasons from September 1st, 1998 to May 19, 2001. Cousin Skeeter definitely had an amazing cast. Robert Richard played Bobby Walker. Of course, Megan Good played Nina Brown. Before she was on Cousin Skeeter, Angela Means played Bye Felicia in Friday and Kid's fiance Vita in House Party 3. She played Vanessa Walker on this show. Before he was Victor Baxter on That's So Raven, Rondell Sheridan played Andre Walker. Remember, Rondell Sheridan was Andre Walker on Cousin Skeeter before he was Victor Baxter on That's So Raven and Corey in the House. Bill Bellamy did a good job voicing Skeeter. My favorite episode of Cousin Skeeter is, of course, the crossover between Cousin Skeeter and Kenan and Kel. I'm glad they have a full episode of that episode on YouTube. I do go back and watch it every now and then, but that is my favorite episode. That was also one of the first Nickelodeon crossovers. Cousin Skeeter and Kenan and Kel. That's definitely one of the most underrated crossovers. But that's my favorite episode of Cousin Skeeter. Number 13. He's a smart guy. Do 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 do. Smart Guy. Definitely another one of the most underrated sitcoms of the 90s. This show ran for 3 seasons on the WB from April 2nd, 1997 to May 16th, 1999. After the show ended its run on the WB, it aired reruns on Disney Channel from 1999 to 2004. This was also the show that introduced me to Omar Gooding. Before he was Sweet Pea on Baby Boy, he played Mo on Smart Guy. And while Tia and Tamara Mary was still doing their sitcom Sister Sister, they decided to give Taj Mary his own sitcom, which also aired on the WB. It had an amazing cast: Esnis Atkins, Taj Mary, Omar Gooding, John Marshall Jones, and Jason Weaver. Such an amazing cast. Number 12, Kenan and Kel. My favorite Nickelodeon show of the 1990s and my number one TV show of 1996. We all know the show is about Kenan and his orange soda loving best friend Kel plotting schemes that will get themselves caught. Kenan and Kel ran for 4 seasons and over 60 episodes from August 17, 1996 to May 3, 2000. With the series finale TV movie Kenan and Kel, Two Heads Are Better Than None, airing on July 15th. I still watch Kenan and Kel to this day because all the cast members are still alive. All of them are still alive, especially Ken Foree, who played Roger. I would love to see a Kenan and Kel reunion one day. I know they've had a bunch of All That reunions. I want to see a Kenan and Kel reunion. They have to do a Kenan and Kel reunion because all the cast members are still alive. And they also got to pay homage to Coolio, who wrote and performed the amazing theme song, which still slaps almost 30 years later. If it wasn't for Kenan and Kel, I would have never loved Orange Soda. That's my favorite episode of Kenan and Kel, Who Loves Orange Soda. That's the one where Kenan bet Kel that Kel must go 1 week without drinking orange soda. And if one of them loses, they have to sing in front of the Rigby's customers the national anthem wearing a lady's nightgown, which was funny. That was funny as hell. And they both had to do it. That Drake and Josh episode, The Bet, was inspired by that Kenan and Kel episode. But yeah, Kenan and Kel is my number one TV show of 1996 and my number one Nickelodeon show of the 90s. But sadly, I cannot put it higher than the other black sitcoms I'm about to mention. Number 11, The Steve Harvey Show. This was about Steve Harvey playing a semi-retired funk musician, Steve Hightower, who became a music teacher of Booker T. Washington High School. This show ran for 6 seasons and 122 episodes from August 25th, 1996 to February 17, 2002. A year before the show ended, Steve Harvey wanted to move on and work on other projects. He wanted the show to end after season 5, but the WB renewed the show for a 6th season with 13 episodes. Even though Steve Harvey wanted the show to end after season 5, it was best for it to end with 6 seasons anyway. It had an amazing cast such as Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, William Lee Scott, who played Bullethead, R.I.P. Marilyn Santana, who played Romeo, Terry J. Vaughn, who played Lovita Alizé Jenkins. She started becoming a cast member of the show in season 2. Lori Beth Denberg didn't join the cast until season 4 after she left All That. And of course, before she was Tasha Mack in the game, Wendy Raquel Robinson played Principal Regina Piggy Greer. The Steve Harvey Show, they have some full episodes of the Steve Harvey Show on YouTube, but I do watch it every now and then on Pluto TV. It's just sad that Marilyn Santana is not here anymore. We all know he got shot and killed months after the show ended. And I miss the Steve Harvey back when he used to have hair before he shaved it off. I like the mini afro Steve Harvey better than the bald head Steve Harvey. That's just me. But the Steve Harvey Show is still one of the best sitcoms of the 90s. And Kenan and Kel made several appearances on the show as Vincent and Junior. The Steve Harvey Show also had musical guests such as Busta Rhymes and of course Bow Wow and Jermaine Dupri. Gotta love the Steve Harvey Show. And it's definitely one of the best shows to ever exist on the WB. Now it's time for my top 10 sitcoms of the 90s. Number 10, Hanging with Mr. Cooper. This was about Mark Curry playing a former NBA player, Mark Cooper, who becomes a teacher and a basketball coach in Oakland. This show was created by Jeff Franklin, who also is known for creating Full House and Fuller House. Hanging with Mr. Cooper ran for 5 seasons and more than 100 episodes, from September 22nd, 1992 to August 30th, 1997. Another one of the most underrated sitcoms of the 90s. I like Hanging with Mr. Cooper more than Full House, to be honest. I find that show more funnier than Full House. That's just my opinion. And this show aired on ABC. We had a lot of black sitcoms that aired on broadcast television. For people that didn't have cable, they can watch these black sitcoms on these broadcast networks, such as Fox, the WB, NBC, ABC, the WB. Man, Hanging with Mr. Cooper is definitely one of the most underrated sitcoms of the 90s. Number 9, The Parenthood. This show was about Robert Townsend, who played a former college New York professor, living with his wife in a Manhattan apartment with his children between ages 3 through 15. The Parenthood ran for 5 seasons and 9 episodes on the WB, and it was one of the first 4 original shows on the WB when the channel first launched, along with The Wayans Bros, Unhappily Ever After, and the short-lived Muscle. It ran from January 18th, 1995 to July 25th, 1999. Rest in peace to Suzanne Douglas, who played Jerry on the show. Kenny Blank left the show after season 3 and he was never mentioned again. And Faison Love, who played Big Worm, he was on this show before he did Big Worm and Friday. But yeah, The Parenthood is definitely one of the best black sitcoms of the 90s and one of the best shows on the WB. Number 8, Sister Sister. This show is about twins T and Tamara. They were separated at birth and they were adopted by different parents. The first 2 seasons aired on ABC, and then the show was picked up by the WB for 4 more seasons, from April Fool's Day 1994 to May 23rd, 1999. The WB did the right thing picking this show up after ABC did that show dirty. Damn you, ABC, for canceling Sister Sister after 2 seasons. Well, it was because of low ratings. That's why ABC canceled it. But thank God that the WB did the right thing and picked up the show after it was canceled. And you have the Mary siblings, Tia, Tamara, and Taj, having their sitcoms on the same network. It has an amazing cast. Tia and Tamara Mary, Jackie Harry, Marcus Houston. Dionne Richmond became a cast member later on in the show. And of course, Daphne Maxwell Reid's husband, Tim Reid. And Sister Sister is in my top 10 of my top 20 TV shows of 1994. Sister Sister was a great show. Number 7, In the House. Who never knew that LL Cool J would get his own sitcom? In the House ran for 2 seasons on NBC, then the next 2 seasons aired on UPN, and the 5th and final season aired in syndication. From April 10th, 1995 to August 11th, 1999. It had an amazing cast such as LL Cool J, Debbie Allen, Jeffrey Wood, Maya Campbell, Kim Wayans, and Alfonso Ribeiro. Jeffrey Wood and Debbie Allen both left the show after season 2, and they were replaced by Kim Wayans and Alfonso Ribeiro. I like the intro from the last 3 seasons of In the House better than the first 2, in my honest opinion. But I damn sure loved In the House. That was a great show. And I do remember watching the music video premiere of Phenomenon after an episode of In the House aired on UPN. Number 6, Moesha. Brandy became the first black R&B singer to have her own sitcom. We're still mad that almost 25 years later that the show ended on a cliffhanger when it was supposed to be a 7th season, but UPN decided to cancel it. What the hell, UPN? Why? Why would you cancel Moesha? I just don't understand that. And the show will be 30 years old next year. It ran from January 23rd, 1996 to June 14th, 2001. And the theme song still slaps almost 30 years later. Moesha was such a great show, man. But damn UPN for canceling it when it was supposed to be a 7th season. Now it's time for my top 5 black sitcoms of the 90s. To kick us off, we got The Jamie Foxx Show at number 5. This show was about Jamie Foxx playing an inspiring actor, Jamie King, working in the hotel of his Aunt Helen and Uncle Junior. The Jamie Foxx Show ran for 5 seasons and apparently 100 episodes, from August 28, 1996 to January 14, 2001. Another show that will be 30 years old next year, and another show that ended almost 25 years ago. Jamie Foxx Show is another one of the most underrated sitcoms of the 90s. Even though it was more adult-oriented, I still enjoyed this show. This was my Sunday nights on the WB along with the Steve Harvey Show. I definitely miss those Sunday nights. Which intro of the Jamie Foxx Show did y'all like the most? The one from the first 3 seasons or the one from the last 2 seasons? Let me know in the comments. I do like both, but I gotta say the intro from the first 3 seasons was better. That's just my opinion. And I would love to see a Jamie Foxx Show reunion with all the cast members, because just like the cast members of Kenan and Kel, all the cast members of the Jamie Foxx Show are still alive. I would love to see a Jamie Foxx Show reunion with the original cast, especially since Gary Morris is still alive. Even though the Jamie Foxx Show did not do so well in the ratings, it still helped launch Jamie Foxx's acting career, and it helped relaunch the career of Gary Morris after his 1994 shooting. Because before he was Uncle Junior in the Jamie Foxx Show, we all know him as Stan and Martin. And then in 1994, he got shot, and then he made a comeback in 1996 when he became a cast member of the Jamie Foxx Show. My number 4 black sitcom of the 90s. We're brothers, we're happy, and we're singing, and we're colored. Give me a high five. All right, cut and print. Beautiful guys. Dynamite. Yep. The Wayans Bros is my number 4 black sitcom of the 90s. Another one of the WB's first 4 original shows when the channel first launched. The Wayans Bros premiered first, then Unhappily Ever After and Muscle had a 1-hour premiere. And then a week later, The Parenthood premiered. The Wayans Bros ran for 5 seasons and 101 episodes. from January 11th, 1995 to May 23rd, 1999. The show was canceled because of declining ratings. And I don't blame Shawn Wayans' character Ray in Scary Movie for saying the Wayans Bros was a good show. It was a good ass show, and we didn't even get a final episode. This sucks that the show never got a proper series finale. The Wayans Bros, #1 best show on the WB and my #1 best show of 1995. Before John Witherspoon and Anna Maria Horsford was on Friday, they was on this show. This show premiered before Friday was released in theaters. Such an amazing cast, too. It sucks that we're not going to get a Wayans Bros reunion because, you know, how can they do a Wayans Bros reunion without John Witherspoon? And also, congratulations to the entire Wayans family. Sean, Marlon, Damon, Damon Jr., Keenan Ivory, and Kim. Yeah, I heard they're going to be inducted into a Hall of Fame together. I say that's good because the Wayans family is definitely one of the most funniest families ever. So congrats to them, man. They definitely deserve it. But the Wayans Bros, #1 best show on the WB and my #1 show of 1995. Now my top 3. #3, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We all know this show is about Will Smith moving out of his mom's house and moving in with his auntie and uncle in Bel-Air, as the theme song would say. In West Philadelphia, born and raised, on the playgrounds where I spend most of my days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all, shooting some b-ball outside of school, when a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel-Air." But of course, at the beginning, he says, "Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute to sit right there and tell you how I became a prince of a town called Bel-Air." Fresh Prince ran for 6 seasons and 148 episodes, from September 10th, 1990 to May 20th, 1996. Ever since Will Smith started having his own sitcom, he had a big goal to become one of the biggest movie stars in the world. And he did accomplish that goal. When Will Smith was nearly bankrupt, he was signed to a contract by NBC to have his own sitcom, in which The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air became a success. Such a great cast too. Will Smith, rest in peace to James Avery. Janet Herbert was the first Aunt Vivian before Daphne Maxwell Reid. Alfonso Ribeiro, Tatiana Ali, Karen Parsons, Joe Marcel. Ross Begley, who played Buckwheat in the remake of The Little Rascals, was on the last 3 seasons. And of course, DJ Jazzy Jeff. I cannot wait for the 35th anniversary of Fresh Prince, which is in September. September is a big anniversary this year for TV shows, movies, video games, or programming blocks. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Fox Kids will be 35. UPN Kids, Kids WB, and the US launch of the PlayStation will be 30. I cannot wait. But yeah, Will Smith was the first hip-hop artist to have his own sitcom before the other hip-hop artists did. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is still a funny show. And the Carlton dance never gets old, too. Thank you, Will Smith, for entertaining us for 35 years of this show. So that's my #3, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. #2, The Friends Before the Friends, Living Single. Queen Latifah was another hip-hop artist to have her own sitcom in the 90s, after Will Smith. Living Single ran for 5 seasons and 118 episodes on Fox. From August 23rd, I believe, 1993 to New Year's Day, 1998. This show, along with New York Undercover and the next show I'm about to mention, they all dominated Fox's Thursday night lineup, which draw millions of viewers like myself away from NBC's must-see TV lineup. Even though NBC's must-see TV Thursday night lineup was good, I prefer watching Fox's Thursday night lineup more back in the 90s. Like I said, Living Single was the Friends before the Friends. And of course, Queen Latifah wrote and performed the theme song. But yeah, Living Single, definitely one of the best black sitcoms of the 90s, and definitely one of the best shows to exist on Fox during its Thursday night lineup. And now I believe you all know which black sitcom of the 90s is my number one. You already know. What's up? What's up? What's up? Martin. 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 Martin is my number one black sitcom of the 90s. It's no surprise. You all knew Martin was going to be my number one. This show, along with Living Single and New York Undercover, dominated Fox's Thursday night lineup. 5 seasons, 132 episodes, from August 27, 1992 to May 1st, 1997. Which intro of Martin do you think was best? The one from the first 2 seasons, from the 3rd season, or the last 2 seasons? I like all of them, but I gotta say my favorite has to be the intro from the first 2 seasons. And it had an amazing cast. Martin Lawrence, Tisha Campbell, Carl Anthony Payne II, rest in peace to Tommy Ford, Tashina Arnold. And we can't forget about Reginald Ballard, who played Bruh Man from The Fifth Flow. And of course, Garrett Morris, who played Stan. And Sean Lampkin, who played Nipsey. God rest his soul too. And it had a lot of great guest appearances from Snoop Dogg, Biggie, Tommy Davidson, Billy D. Williams, Richard Pryor, David Allen Greer. Who else? Oh, Brian McKnight. The list goes on of all the guest appearances from Martin. That enough justifies why not only do I have this show on this list, but it's the best Fox show of all time. But if Martin Lawrence did not sexually harass Tisha Campbell both on and off set of the show, I'm sure Martin would have lasted for 8 seasons instead of 5. Because we all know in the last 2 parts of the last episode, Martin Lawrence and Tisha Campbell had to do scenes separately. Because Tisha Campbell filed a lawsuit against Martin Lawrence and she won. And she agreed to film the last 2 episodes without interacting or doing any scenes with Martin. But years later, Tisha Campbell and Martin Lawrence had officially squashed their feud. Wow. I'm not going to explain more about this because it's undeniable why I have Martin number 1 on this list and why it's the best Fox show of all time in my personal opinion. That's going to do it for my top 15 black sitcoms of the 90s. Honorable mentions goes to The Sinbad Show, Rock, The Hughleys, Thea, Malcolm and Eddie, and that's it. Those are my honorable mentions. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for my next video, and I may do my top 15 black sitcoms of the 2000s, like at halftime during the All-Star game tonight. But if I don't have time, then I'll catch you tomorrow for my Attitude Era rants. Let me see. But I should come back tonight and reveal my top 15 black sitcoms of the 2000s. Yeah, we're going to do reminisce 25 years of an interview with Kevin Kelly and The Rock from the February 17, 2000 edition of SmackDown tomorrow, if I don't come back later on tonight. But what do you guys think about my top 15 black sitcoms of the 90s? Which black sitcom of the 90s would be your number one? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. No more talk.